The least we should do is to make sure that those who have murdered Nigerians and deprived them of their human rights aren't able to benefit from trade or travel to the UK.
Greetings to you, wonderful and great people. You're welcome to our News channel. It's your man Rex. Please, if you're watching for the very first time or you've been watching without subscribing, please do me that favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up and drop your comments. You're highly appreciated for your time.
It appears to be, sadly, just the same with many other issues in Nigerian society. There's terrible unemployment, there's little access to healthcare and to education, and a poverty rate as high as 70%, according to Oxfam. The people of Nigeria have the right to come together and call for an end to those injustices. But as we know, in recent months, their peaceful, powerful actions have been met with horrific violence. Amnesty says that at least 56 people were killed during the recent protests, including at least 10 in Lekki. I've been fortunate enough to hear from a young journalist with direct knowledge of what happened at the Lekki toll gate. And she told me, and I'm going to read out her words. She said, and I quote, "It was devastating, something you don't want to imagine. The protesters did not know that the cameras and the lights were going to be removed. There were no cameras to witness anything." And then, as we've heard today, the soldiers opened fire on the crowd of protesters, and my contact said one of the survivors jumped in the water, but the soldiers kept on shooting. For days after, a friend of mine didn't come online because of the shock and the fear, and it took him a long time to come to Facebook and to say, "Thank God I survived. I did not think I was going to." She said, "Someone else I know left the toll gate with a bullet in him, and later they moved all the bodies so that there would be no evidence." For them to close their hearts and kill protesters like that is simply unforgivable. The response from the authorities who feel threatened by the protests has been insidious, as we've heard. Media agencies have been fined for telling the truth. Bank accounts of activists have been suspended because supposedly they finance terrorism. And government spokespeople have even blamed the protesters for a rise in food prices. Those in power will clearly do anything at all to ensure that the movement ends now and that SARS is technically disbanded. Those in power are terrified that the calls for action on corruption and police brutality will go on and on. My plea to the Minister today is that we stand with the young people of Nigeria who are demanding change far beyond the closure of SARS. What they are demanding is a future worthy of their courage and their leadership. And here in the UK, we need that too, because Nigeria is a massive, fast-growing, youthful country. It has massive potential. It's a country that will have a leading role in decades to come, not just within Africa, but in our world. And for that positive leadership to happen, that sense of justice that motivates the End SARS protest must prevail to shape Nigeria's future and our future too. So, Minister, I don't think that words from the government today are going to be enough, because I think we've got to show our solidarity, demonstrate it, by identifying and targeting those that we know are responsible for terrible violence and abuses that the activists have faced. The least we should do is to make sure that those who have murdered Nigerians and deprived them of their human rights aren't able to benefit from trade or travel to the UK. In my view, that should include the leaders of the government and the military who are now refusing to allow transparent and fair investigations to happen and for justice to be implemented.
What we're seeing in Nigeria today is part of that story. It's a tragedy that we are watching. It's a tragedy that we are all witnessing, because as we see things falling apart, the pressure this time is not foreign colonialism, forgive me. The pressure instead is corruption and violence and attempts at control. And that's why I totally agree with my honourable friend, the member for Edmonton. We need to call out the corruption. We need to use the powers that we have in this country to stop those who are profiting from the wealth of that great nation and hiding it here. Now, some people will remember when General Gowon left Nigeria with half the central bank, so it is said, and moved to London. We know that today, even now, in this great city of ours, there are, sadly...
Thank you, lovely people, for watching. Please, we greatly appreciate it if you can just deem it fit to subscribe and click the notification bell. Give us thumbs up and drop your comment. Let's know what you think. Thank you and God bless you.